Welcome back, Lightning Within 5 listeners. I'm your host, Jennifer Jensen, alongside
Senior Airman Stefan Alvarez.
What's the last time you're ever going to say that? Oh my God, everyone. Today is Alvarez's last podcast.
It is.
He is officially a civilian as of Friday. Well, no, you have to wait for your DD-214. Do you get it on Friday?
Yeah, I think like within 24 hours of my final out.
Oh my God. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I promised that I wouldn't cry. I'm not going to do it. Mm-mm.
Save it for my going away.
Oh, yes, because then I have to give a speech because I'm your boss and all that good stuff. Cool. Anyway, but this is it, Alvarez. What do you have to say to our listeners?
It's been real. It's been fun. It hasn't been real fun, but...
You did.
Yeah. You'll live on. You'll continue to do
I hate you.
The podcast. The podcast will keep going strong. Maybe, if you feel up to it.
Maybe. I might just be too heartbroken. Okay, let's do a recap. What was your best memory of Tyndall?
My best memory of Tyndall.
Because you got here right after Hurricane Michael.
Yeah, pretty much a year to the day. I got here in October 2019, and Michael was October 2018.
So it was a mess. So the base probably itself isn't your favorite memory, right?
I mean, I will say it's come leaps and bounds from when I first got here.
True.
There's literally like mountains of scrap metal and debris and
Gross.
what used to be buildings all over the place.
Yeah.
And now I don't think there's any like derelict buildings or...
No, I think for the most part they're all ripped down.
Yeah.
Whether there's an actual building replacing that one, that's up for debate. We don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, my favorite memory of Tyndall, honestly, like all our office like pontoon days and stuff, those were always
So much fun.
so much fun.
The last one we had. So office morale days, right? We have a marina here at Tyndall, and you can rent boats, and we usually rent a pontoon boat, and we spend the day hanging out. Camaraderie, day to just chill and get to know your coworkers better. And we go take the pontoon out to the island.
Yeah, Shell Island.
And we just hang. And last time, Alvarez and I both didn't put sunscreen on. And we were out there for what? A good 6 hours?
Yeah, what was it, like from 8 or 9 until 3 o'clock?
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah.
So, our stupid selves were enjoying, just floating around in the water. And we both came into work on that Monday.
Very stiff.
Yeah, we couldn't, like for me, my skin was so crunchy, I couldn't even like hunch my shoulders over, or I could hear it. It was so disgusting. I'm sure I have skin cancer from it.
I know for a fact that I got sun poisoning that day.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Which I didn't know was a thing.
Yeah.
But I looked it up after, and yeah, I got sun poisoning for sure.
Yeah, we're idiots. Sunscreen. Yeah, everybody.
Even if it's overcast, just throw on some sunscreen.
It was overcast that day, wasn't it? We're fine.
For most of it, yeah.
Yeah, those are good memories. What else? Are you going to miss like Tyndall itself? Because you're going to Alabama.
Yeah. I would like to come back when everything is done. There's no more construction at all. Everything's built and open and operational. I would like to come back and check it out.
Same.
When that will be, hopefully
No one knows.
Hopefully not that long. But
yeah, I think I would too, because like the things that we're about to get, the marina for one. I know we're supposed to do a year recap on rebuild. Just hold your horses, everybody. Like the marina, I'm excited to see. Bowling. Like a community commons in whole. That's what I'm excited to see. Like how they plan on executing that area alongside lodging and the dorms. Oh, let's not talk about doom and gloom in your departure. We had Snowmageddon.
yeah.
Snow in Florida. What did you say? It was like 54 years or something crazy since the last time it snowed here?
40 plus.
That's nuts. Okay, First of all, as a northeastern individual,
What does that even mean?
Listen, living in the Northeast has made me hate the snow.
I love it.
I hate it with a passion.
Maybe it's because I'm from the opposite end of the coast from you.
Yeah.
But I love it.
No, it's awful. I mean, granted, I used to be a snowboarder. I would be out in it all the time because that's what, if it snowed 3 feet, we were still expected to go to school. Like, they would just throw salt on the roads and everybody would just went about their day. Here, it literally was the end of the world. Like,
it wasn't that bad. Like,
Florida
I feel like
was closed for 3 days. Are you kidding me?
the schools were closed.
No, dude. Jared tried to go to the grocery store on the second day, and it was closed. Winn-Dixie was closed.
Walmart was still open.
Okay. Who's going to Walmart? That's nuts. I avoid Walmart at all costs.
Apparently, people didn't bat an eye because there's, Bay County Sheriff's Office posting about people getting stuck on the bridges and whatnot.
They're like, I got 4-wheel drive. I can do it.
Yeah.
My favorite was like seeing the videos of people with their boogie boards, like playing in the snow like it's a sled.
But just a good amount. It wasn't like just like a flurry and then it all melted immediately. Like,
no,
we had snow built up on the roads, the roofs.
Yeah, that was a little crazy. I was not prepared for that. We came from Dover, so I literally got rid of all the kids' snow clothes, saying we'll never need this again. So my son's out in the yard with cowboy boots and pajama pants on because he don't know what else to put.
Oh, Grant.
He had a good old time, though. He misses it. I do not. Every time it snowed in Dover, Jared was on a TDY. I swear to God.
Time?
I swear to God, every single time.
So you had to shovel the driveway
Yep.
and do all that stuff.
Because we didn't have a snowblower. So, yeah, my back loved it.
That's so fun.
No,
I love that for you.
Opposite of fun. Hence my hatred for the snow. New Year? We know it's late, okay? We know it's late in the month, but it is a new year.
It is 2025 now.
Yep. So we're going to talk to Mr. Curry later on in the episode. Are you ready financially? I am terrified.
Like, for me?
No.
I was,
not for you. Like,
very, very ambiguous.
No, I am terrified when that active duty benefit stops. Like health insurance, life insurance. So you have a plan for all that?
Well, as a federal employee, you have the federal
I keep forgetting.
family healthcare, which is what I'm planning on. Yeah.
Some of us have to actually work to get a job.
Oh, please. You've been offered jobs so many times, you just turn it down because you're indecisive.
I have.
Don't get on me about my jobs.
Someday, I would love to run all of the public affairs for the Air Force.
If anybody's listening who works in a headquarters office for public affairs, Jen wants to work there.
I just want to be able to impact the public affairs field at a bigger scale. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fun.
I know, but we plan on having somebody from NDR to come on here and give you the official projected building completion dates for 2025 because we get mixed signals sometimes. We get, messages from our bosses. We get messages from CE. Everybody just tells us different things. So we're going to have the guys in charge of rebuild come and give you that update.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah. If you're listening to this and you have an amazing airman or team, or you think your job does not get enough hype, let us know. It is difficult to sit here and be like, who haven't we had on podcast? I know our own squadron is pretty bitter because we haven't really had anybody from our squadron on here. I mean, some of the fan mail, man, is just crazy. But we do love the fan mail. Never thought in a million years that me and Alvarez would get fan mail. Yeah. I think the best one so far has been like saying how you and I are yin and yang.
That's accurate.
Like you are the calm peace and I'm the wild crazy.
Yeah.
Super accurate. Unless you give the man tequila. Then it's game over. What else do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is the last time I'm going to be on the podcast. So
Here we go. We're bringing it back around to the despair.
I'm going to answer your question of the question. What do you want to talk about with me on my last episode?
Let's go. Rapid fire. Are you ready?
Sure.
We're just going to get to know Alvarez
as I leave.
As he leaves. We should have done this at the beginning. Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite part of being in the Air Force?
TDYs/deployments.
Ew. Who says that?
Me.
Deployments?
Those were all my best memories were on TDYs and deployments.
Okay. If there was one thing you could change to benefit your airmen in the Air Force, what would it be?
Like Total Force?
Yep.
Big 8 Airmen?
Yep.
Ooh. I would say probably like quality of life stuff. Like everybody should have good, nice dorms.
Yes.
As their first impression of the Air Force. Like,
yeah. And not have moldy cheese.
Yeah, like you joined the Air Force for a reason. You didn't want the moldy, crappy dorms that you see all the other branches have.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a good response. I would just pay them more, honestly.
I mean, they're gonna get paid more.
Yeah.
So.
What was your favorite base while you were in the Air Force?
That I've been stationed at, or I've just been to?
Stationed.
Well, I mean, that's not a hard decision to make. I would have been to 3, so definitely Korea.
Korea?
Kunsan, yeah.
Get out of town.
My first base was Lackland.
Okay.
So
that's
gross.
a definite no. Yep.
First.
Sorry, anybody at Lackland.
First AETC, ew. Second, BMT graduations almost every weekend.
Were you taking pictures of those?
No. But the base gets congested with the families and all that. So every Thursday and Friday going to work is a nightmare.
Ew, I forgot about that.
And then the other base was here, which I enjoyed my time in Korea way more than I enjoyed my time here.
So your ranking would be Kunsan, Tyndall, Lackland.
Yes.
Wowzers. Mm-hmm. To each their own, Everybody has different experiences.
This base didn't have
Oh no, look here.
This base didn't have anything my first couple years here.
If you are listening and you are a community leader or something, because we do have, some of our honoraries will listen to this, or the civic leaders. We need things to do. Please help. Somebody with kids, I can only go to so many sporting events for my kids. Yes, they're in baseball, they're in football, they're in volleyball. But we need things to do besides the beach. So, even just we have the trampoline place in PCB, but things like that for us to do with our kids all year round. Here. Not beachside, because beachside is disgusting come spring break, right? Nobody in their right mind that lives in Panama City is going over to the beach unless it's absolutely necessary. So please, even a mall would be lovely. I would love a mall. I hate going to Pier Park. I hate it.
But I was just talking strictly the base and the mission, not
Very
the
true.
surrounding areas.
I've never been to a base that didn't have a theater. I know that's old now.
Same, or bowling alley.
Yeah. So coming here and not having those options was kind of weird. Because on a slow Sunday, we would always take the kids. It was $2 bowling on base.
Yeah.
So we would always do that. But yeah, not here. You have to go to the beach to go bowling. How fun. Hooray. What's the best part of being at Tyndall?
The best part of being at Tyndall?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not a joke when people say like the beaches here are probably the nicest.
Yeah.
I would say for sure the state.
Yeah.
That's coming from somebody that was in South Florida.
The time has come, Alvarez.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna do it.
What?
I'm not gonna do it.
You have to.
Okay.
You have to let go, Jen. I mean, you're not saying goodbye yet. Like, we're literally gonna go
I
back
know,
to
but it's the last time I get to sit across from you and like do this. This is like a highlight for me every month. We get to sit here and learn new things and talk to new people and bash each other. I'm gonna miss that. Okay, Alvarez. What are your final words for Team Tyndall?
Yeah, Air Force it's been good to me. I feel like if I had a little more flexibility in my career, I probably would have, stayed longer. Like I've been denied retraining so many times.
You just hate PA that much.
I mean, if I could go back in time, I would definitely pick a different AFSC. Okay. Or at least like...
But you're really good at what you do. Like you're an amazing photographer.
And that's, that's just something that like I kind of chose to focus on since I couldn't change career fields. Like I'm stuck here. I want to be at least good kind of thing.
I appreciate that. All right, Lightning Within 5 listeners, stick around. We'll be back after this short break.
This episode of Lightning Within 5 is brought to you by the 325th Fighter Wing Public Affairs Shop. For all the latest news, photos, videos, and more, check out our Facebook page, Instagram, and our official website at tyndall.af.mil.
Welcome back, Lightning Within 5 listeners. We are here with our special guest, all the way from FSS, the Military Family Readiness Center, specifically, is Mr. Keith Curry. And Mr. Curry, welcome to our show.
Great to be here. Great to meet you.
All right. For those of you at Tyndall who don't know who Mr. Curry is, he is a wizard of some sorts. Our episode today is going to be talking about your financial wellness. And that's what you specialize in, right, Mr. Curry?
That's what I do.
All right. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, a little bit about myself. I grew up on a little small farm in South Alabama and decided that I would go into the Navy to see the world instead of the pig farm. Then I realized that the world is 75% water and enjoyed that. I went to Navy dive school after a couple of tours on 2 different destroyers, and then I retired from the experimental diving unit here in Panama City Beach. So after that, I left the Navy on a Friday and started with an investment firm on a Monday morning.
Oh, wow.
Spent about 15 years in financial on the investment side with several firms, A.G. Edwards, Edward Jones, Merrill Lynch. And then I kind of broadened my craft, got into banking, insurance. Like I tell everybody, I've done everything from A to Z, master of nothing, but I know a lot about everything.
All right. And anybody can come see you, correct?
Absolutely. Anybody can come see me now. Now the program, and I'm just a little bit different. I work through the MFRC, but I actually work for the Office of Secretary of Defense through their financial readiness program. So we teach purple. We teach Air Force, all the militaries, the National Guard. I also work with spouses, active duty, retirees, as long as it's been within a year of their retirement, people separating a year, Gold Star families, those type of things. But you come see us and we'll take care of you at the MFRC. We're customer focused.
I love that there's such a broad variety of people that you still are able to see. Like, even if you plan on getting out, and your time's coming close, you can still go talk to you, which is so important when you're getting out. Like, you need to know financially what you're about to step into, right?
It's so important. And in fact, the reason I didn't dress up just for you today, Jennifer, okay?
What?
We're teaching a TAP class today, the Transition Assistance Program. And let me give a shout out to my people at the MFRC. We've got so much talent over there in all different areas. And so this week TAP course is just excellent because I'll be working this afternoon with finance, a 4-hour presentation for both people separating and those retiring. And there's different things that are going on there.
Yeah.
And, I always, tell everybody, hey, I'm going to throw up on you here for about 4 hours. but I want you to make an appointment with me and come see me.
Yeah.
And let's get it down to your level. Everything that I do is confidential. I don't keep any notes. Nothing goes into your military record. I know a lot of times when I was in the Navy as a Navy diver, I didn't want to be not physically qualified. So I never went to mental health. Never went to see the financial counselor, right?
The good old days.
The good old days, right? Because of that stigma. Now, and man, just so amazed at the Air Force and the resources that they have, and try to encourage everybody to come see me because, hey, it's going to be confidential. It's the no judgment zone. Keith's been way up on the spectrum, been low on the spectrum through things, bad things happen to good people, and there's no judgment here.
Right.
Judge not lest you be judged,
Yeah. So just to clarify, just because you're in finances doesn't mean you're a millionaire, right?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And, you'd probably be surprised at the vehicle I drive.
Please tell me it's like from the 80s or something.
The house. No, it's actually a 2018.
Oh, okay.
But
very practical.
I bought it used.
Okay.
Right. It's not and I'll go ahead and throw myself out there. It's a pickup truck.
Yeah.
But I have to pull my boat.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't have a fancy boat. I bought a used boat, right?
Yep.
But I hunt, I fish, so I had to have something to haul my boat, and something to haul my 6-point deer that I killed Saturday. I hope that doesn't offend anybody.
Wow.
That I killed out of the woods Saturday. So bought it used. It's nothing fancy. It didn't get all the bells and whistles and things like that. And, what I try to put out to my clients, okay, we all have insatiable wants, right? What are our needs? Do we really need that Dodge Hellcat?
Yeah.
I'd love to drive one.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Get some points on my license, but I don't need that. I need to pull my boat and go to the woods. So.
Very true. Okay, so tell us a little bit, let's just get into some scenarios financially.
Absolutely.
So when airmen join the Air Force, they're given the option of TSP, correct?
Absolutely.
So what are some pointers that you can give to max your TSP experience?
Okay. So the first thing, depending upon their background, I actually have, some airmen that understand mutual funds and index funds and things like that. So in maximizing TSP, I'm going to add a couple of things.
Okay.
The first thing I want somebody to do, and whether you're a young airman or a retiring colonel, make sure your TSP beneficiary is up to date. You need to make sure your beneficiary is up to date. I think you're civil service, right?
Yeah.
TSP. I want you to check that. Mr. Alvarez, you too, because it is the only place that I have seen where you can have a TSP 401k and not have a beneficiary. 80% of my clients that come in front of me, no beneficiary.
Really? So if something happens to them, that just disappears?
No, it doesn't disappear.
Oh, okay.
It's there, but then we have to start talking about the probate process.
Ew.
And then if they haven't done a will, we have to talk about dying without a will and being intestate. So it gets even more difficult.
Messy.
And the last thing, Jennifer, Mr. Alvarez, the last thing I want your heirs to have to go through is that.
Yeah.
I want to make sure all your accounts are, they have beneficiaries on them, those type of things. So it's a much easier process because dealing with finances after losing your spouse, your son, your daughter,
horrible.
It's horrible. Yeah. So getting back to the other part of your question, I try to keep it simple. Being from Alabama, I have to keep things simple. Hey, put 10% in your savings every month. Pay yourself first. Old Navy Chief was talking to me while I was writing out my checks one night in the compartment. Pay yourself first. Yeah. You work hard for that money. Put 10% in savings. Put 10% in your TSP, right? Follow. I can't tell people what funds to put in or what to put their money in, but I can explain every one of those funds, and as well as the life cycle funds, another great addition. So, and then the last thing, and you just have to cut me off, or Alvarez will have to hit me or something. So, I also get the airmen to think, hey, getting a pretty good pay raise this year, ain't you? Right? Ain't you? Right? Alabama.
Yeah.
So I always ask them, I say, can you put an extra 1% in your savings?
Yeah.
And then they look at me, well, yeah, I can probably do that. Can you put an extra 1% in your TSP? Yeah, probably so. And I'm talking normal years of 5%, not 14.5.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
but if
insane.
they do that, and if they follow that, it's a rounding error in your financial plan, right?
Yeah.
It's a rounding error, loose change. And if you'll do that, especially the younger officers, younger enlisted, be very well off when they get to that transition point. That's
very true. I forgot about that 14%. That's crazy. What a time you chose to get out, Alvarez, when you're about to get paid more.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. No, that's smart. And also, if you think about it, with the raise, if you're surviving off of your checks just fine, if it were me and I was getting a raise, I would literally take whatever raise that was and just put it all away in different places.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I try to encourage, hey, again, when you go up in rank, look at how much how much it's, your paycheck's going up, and, partition enough some of that to your TSP and your savings.
Yeah. Okay. That's great advice. Okay. So another scenario. What about the people that are in their 30s and they just haven't done anything? Are they eternally, for lack of better term, screwed? Or can they get back on the ball and start saving for retirement? Because that's what they're looking to now, right?
Oh, absolutely. And it's never too late, and you can continue to procrastinate, right? Mm-hmm. And things ain't going to change. So for those that are later in life, and stuff happens to people, right. I say this all the time, bad things happen to good people. Spouses lose jobs, PCSing around, different things. And I just tell them, hey, not being judgmental here, but let's go over the numbers. Let's look at your expenses. Let's look at your budget, where all your money is going. Yeah. And it's amazing. I always tell my clients, I never started budgeting until I was 53.
Yeah.
And I know y'all didn't realize that I was 64.
No, not at all.
Saw that clean living and cold water Navy diving.
Yeah.
50% of that was true. I really never started budgeting until I was 53, and then it was kind of like an epiphany, right? So I always put money in savings because that's what my grandfather did, right?
Yeah.
Savings, bought pigs and land, and I knew I wasn't going to buy the last two. So, and then I started getting a little bit interested in investments when I was in the military, and then once I got on Wall Street, I was it was investment savings. I didn't think about it, but when I started budgeting at 53, and I saw where my leakage in my budget was going, and my brain couldn't keep up with it, I'm like, wow,
yeah,
I'm wasting a lot of money. It also made me look at other things like, the bank is not paying me the best interest rate on my savings, right? I went from a 0.01 in 2013 to 2.5% on my emergency savings.
Yeah.
I just never looked at it, right? I started shopping my insurance every year because I was looking at it on my budget, dropped some costs there. So, that's key with everybody. You don't know where that money's going. This supercomputer in our brain's not keeping up with everything.
Yeah.
And, it's interesting. I always, kick myself at the end of the week because either Sunday afternoon or this week it was Sunday night because I was out late in the woods. I realized that I had spent $147 on deer feed.
Wow.
Feeding deer.
Random deer.
Random
not even
deer.
Pets. Okay.
Yeah. Finally got one, but and it's just like,
that's a $150 deer you just shot.
I'm telling you. I still got to pay for the process. So. Anyway.
I think that's great advice. I don't want to talk about my personal finances, but I was one of those. I didn't buy a Hellcat or anything, but I made stupid financial airman decisions, right? And now that I'm later on in life and more responsible, I do what you just said. I shop around for insurances because if you stay, we will not name that company, but if you stay with one particular company for so long, you just don't even take notice that it just steadily goes up and up and up.
Absolutely.
And then we realized when we switched this past year, just for insurance, that if you bundle, you save, and just that $200 a month has made such a huge impact.
Oh yeah, and that's $200 that can go into investments if it's been a little bit later in life. Hey, paying down debt and things like that. Yeah, insurance. It's like I tell everybody, it's a commodity business.
Yeah.
You can choose to shop at Walmart or you can choose to shop at Publix.
Yeah.
And I go to Publix and Winn-Dixie for certain things. You know, I'm not getting my sushi from Walmart. I'm not throwing Walmart under the bus. Okay.
Yeah.
But do that because it's a commodity business. I get everyone to do that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into something else. If an airman, let's just say they come into service with a lot of debt, whether it's, college debt or just loans they need to pay off, what is the best way for them to start to pay down that debt?
So the first thing that, I encourage them all to do is come see me, right?
Yeah.
And again, I always use a little story, hey, guys have to, in the military, have to go to the doctor every year, right? The dentist, they chase you down, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be on the dental list or the sergeants in your, right?
Yep.
But no one ever comes to see their financial doctor, do they?
No.
And your financial doctor, he's nice, he ain't much to look at, okay? But I don't keep no records. I don't judge you.
Yeah.
You keep your clothes on, there's not going to be any operations. Hello, no shots. And here's the thing, especially with young airmen, and this happened this week. I had an airman come in, and again, not breaking confidentiality, but this person came in and had not been in very long, but like most young people, they were taken advantage of by a car dealership. Go figure,
of course.
right? And this individual had some private student loans. Guess what we did? We invoked the Servicemen's Civil Service Relief Act.
Yep.
We dropped both of those down to 6%.
Oh, that's good.
He's getting checks back from both companies.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And now he also knows about high yield savings accounts. So the credit union not to be named.
Yeah.
He's going to start making some more money on his savings.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And again, I hear this a lot. Keith didn't want to come see you, didn't want to be judged by anybody. Like, dude, I have bought some upside down vehicles. I came off deployment, with a ship with a rack full of checks. I'm going to spend this money, right?
So I think we all do that after deployment.
After some point. And it's like, come see me, Hey, I've had my issues too.
Yes. That's awesome. Okay. Good advice.
Yeah, that SCRA, and luckily that has gotten out in the Air Force because most times people have seen that before.
Yeah.
So they've gotten to them in BMT or maybe in tech school. So.
Okay. So in your personal opinion, what is the overall best piece of financial advice that you can give? We'll start with brand new airman, like fresh out of BMT, like 18, 19 years old. What is the best piece of financial advice you would give them?
Gosh, just one piece?
One piece.
Ouch.
Okay, or top three. How about that? I'll let you broaden it.
Okay, so my top three would be, and let me just live below your means.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Track what you're doing. Track your spending.
Yeah.
You know how much money I could have saved between 18 and 53?
Yeah.
Right?
Seriously.
And I tell myself all the time, right? So track what you're doing and come see your personal financial counselor. Doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell anybody you're coming to see me. Even if you're worried about the stigma, and I know there's some out there, well, don't tell them where you're going. You've got an appointment, right?
Yeah.
And come see me because, hey, if your shirt or the colonel calls me, I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right? Who? I don't know them.
All you have to do is say, I have an appointment at FSS.
That's it. Hey.
That's it.
Hey, I don't know who you're talking about, Colonel. Ask them. Right?
I love that. Okay, and then on the flip side, what's the top three pieces of advice you'd give to somebody about to retire?
Okay, and this will go to retirement plus transitioning people.
Okay.
So retirees, hey, TRICARE's got them covered. Good to go. What really surprises people who are transitioning is healthcare.
Yeah, it's a huge cost.
Huge
Oh
cost.
my God.
Huge cost.
Yeah.
And again, I'm able to talk to them about how to mitigate some of that, depending upon their health, things like that. If they're willing to take some risk, right? Yeah. We talk about HSA accounts and higher deductibles and all those things, but that's really shocking to transitioning members, as well as, hey, now all of your paycheck's going to be taxed.
Yeah.
You've been sheltered from 40%. Now, one thing we don't do well in the military is we don't plan for life insurance. Okay?
Very true.
We have SGLI. We've got that covered. I talk a lot about estate planning. I'm not morbid. I've been in the business for 25 years, and I've seen babies pass.
Yep.
Middle schoolers. So it's something I have to plan for, but we don't think about that, right? And then so you're getting down to that time of, well, I didn't, SGLI is going away. Depending upon the person's situation. Hey, I've got a couple of kids and they're about to go to college, and I'm getting this good job, but so we don't do well on life insurance planning. And SBP is it's an option for them, an annuity option for them to help them out, but that's a big one for retirees. And let's see, what would be the last thing? And estate planning.
Yeah.
Estate planning. Really go over estate planning because, it's like I give an example, how many 18-year-olds, if you want to leave your SGLI to your beneficiaries, your kids, right?
Yeah.
I got no problem with that. But how many 18-year-olds should get $250,000?
Yeah.
It might not go well for some of them. I know it wasn't this 18-year-old, right?
No.
And then again, when we look at that, if you're a single spouse or single person with kids, you've got to think about who's going to take care of them, who's going to take care of them financially. Plan for those things. We have other ways. Aunt Sally might be great at taking care of the kids, but Aunt Sally may not be real great at finance.
Yeah.
So we talk about corporate trustees and things like that. But estate planning is big because, hey, we're a little bit older.
Yeah. So to go off of that, funny story. I know we've talked in previous episodes about I'm a Gold Star sister.
Okay.
So my example of that is my little brother was active duty Navy.
Yes, ma'am.
He went on his first deployment. He was a submariner, and he got surfaced because he was having pains. He went to the doc, and the doctor told him he had stage 4 cancer. So the next 2 years he spent at Walter Reed, Bethesda.
Yes, ma'am.
But the financial side of that, none of us were prepared for that because my brother wasn't married. He didn't have his own kids. So he had to figure out what to do with all that money.
Yeah.
And then some of it got left to, myself, my daughter.
Right.
But with the kids side of it, that gets messy because if they're a minor, like for the state of Florida, there is a custodian account that has to happen, and you have to go to a lawyer every single year for accounting purposes. Yep. Which is insane to me.
Right.
Like I give them the guilt trip all the time. I'm like, you're stealing money from my daughter. How does that make you feel? Right. I even took it to Congressman Dunn's office, and I was like, how are you taking money from Gold Star families like this? Like, this is crazy to me.
Right.
So they're working on that, but nonetheless, the financial perspective, we were not ready for that at all. But thankfully, at Walter Reed, they have people like you.
Yeah, they do.
That handles everything for you. But it's not the same case if you're just, separating or retiring on your own. You have to figure that out on your own.
And it's huge. And, I talk about it, and we don't want to talk about death and dying, but hey, we never know.
That's very true.
And
my brother was 23.
So sorry.
Yeah. It's okay.
Was he a nuke?
Yeah, he was nuclear missiles. Yes.
Yeah.
On the sub.
Yeah, my first 2 years as a diver, I dove in the Cooper River on ballistic missile submarines.
Yeah.
And have a good affinity. They hate good on those ships, man. We love working on them.
He told me a lot of funny stories. He was 6'3".
Oh my gosh.
He was a big boy on those
crawl around.
Jeez. But yeah, he my dad and my brother were Navy. So my dad was a CB. And my dad was always so proud of how smart my brother had to be to get onto a nuclear sub.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting off track. If you get me started talking about my brother, I will not stop. So, but anyway, yeah. So it's super. We're not trying to scare anybody, right?
Absolutely not.
But you have no idea what will happen, and not
Right.
just to you, but to somebody in your family.
Absolutely. And just because we're planning for something, when I sit down and plan with anybody, whether it's insurance or estate planning, I don't want this stuff to happen.
Right.
Okay. I'm just looking at my past 25 years and the statistics from the financial industry of, bad things happen to good people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%. Alvarez, what was this stupid financial decision you made as an airman? This is his last episode, Mr. Curry, so I need to embarrass him in some way, shape, or form.
I mean, I think the biggest thing was, like what you said, is not tracking spending, just blind swiping debit card for everything. And then, you go to swipe it one time and it's like, card declined. And you're like, oh, how much money do I have? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I have none. That's cool.
Like the time you ran out of gas because you just didn't have the money.
Exactly, yeah. Time I ran out of gas, couldn't put gas in my car, so I just had to leave it at the visitor center until I got paid next pay period and go back with the
Gotcha.
gas can and fill it up. Yep.
I mean, everybody's done something stupid.
Oh, everybody has. And it's when I talk to people. I talk to people all the time about credit card debt. I went through a divorce in my life, and I didn't use the good financial planning advice that I would have given somebody if they were attended a marriage class.
Yeah.
Right. Let me raise both hands on that one. Right.
Yeah.
I fell in love. Right. So, after that, man, I ran up a little credit card debt. Because I had to get through that struggle. And, in the financial business, the great part about it is you can make as much money as you want to.
Yeah.
The bad part of it is you don't sell anything that month. You don't make any money.
Very true.
So, I don't, again, not judgmental. Hey, bad things happen to good people. And, hey, we just recover from it.
That's something I didn't think about. Like, if you get a divorce, your finances are going to go into a tailspin. Man.
If you don't plan well, I can tell you, and being in the financial business, in the banking business, and I'm not saying this about all spouses, when you sign a joint account with somebody, they've got the full rights to that account as you do.
Ooh, touche.
Oh yeah, I've been yelled at many times in the bank.
That is, there's so many different situations where you're just like, oh yeah, that really would be a hit to the old coin purse, like.
Well, and it's just reality. I love talking to people about their finances and their marriage, or I do car buying classes with people. I love helping people buy cars or buying houses and things like that.
That's so important. Like the interest rates right now are insane.
Well, they're insane, but if you go the right way, you go out and you get quotes, 3 different quotes. We make sure your credit score is bumped up. We work all 3 parts of that deal.
Okay.
And we work it one step at a time. But every marriage class starts off with, and I took this from the business I was in, because when I started off in the financial business, I really went after business owners. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I talked to business owners, what if this business doesn't pan out?
Yeah.
Right. Or let's say your key employee that's the brains behind this business, what happens if he or she's not here?
Right.
Right. So we plan for that. It's the same thing with marriage. Hey, y'all are going to live happily ever after forever.
Yeah.
What happens if this doesn't work out?
Right. Okay. So for our listeners, what is the biggest thing that you want them to take away from you talking to us?
For the listeners, hey, you've got a financial counselor here, 25 years experience, and it costs you nothing to see.
Yeah.
Whether you're a spouse, military member, it's confidential. Please let me help you avoid financial landmines, to improve your financial performance. And again, Jennifer, I've had clients that, hey, you've done great. All this looks good. Hey, have you thought about tweaking this? Have you thought about your estate plan? It's like I tell everybody, I can improve your financial situation somehow.
Yeah.
Please utilize me. And also the program that I work for, if for some reason you're deployed off somewhere if you've got my number, you can call me or shoot me an email. We'll negotiate time zones. But Military One Source, okay? Go to Military One Source. We have personal financial counselors as well as military family and life counselors that work for Military One Source. Or you got to go there. You've got them 24/7.
All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Mr. Curry. We really enjoyed this. I hope this was beneficial for everybody listening, because at some point in your life, you're going to have a financial need or two, and that's what Mr. Curry is here for, to help you out.
You might just need a second opinion. Hey, you might have it all figured out, and it's just like, hey, copy that. Looks good to me. Right.
So everybody, if you haven't gone and seen Mr. Curry, please do so. He is there, and he's very easy to talk to on email. That's how we got him here. So, all right, everybody, that'll wrap it up for today's Lightning Within 5 episode. We'll see you next time.